So I implore you all to please cooperate with him like you did with the previous speaker, so that we can get maximum benefit from his presentation. The next 1 hour is going to be hot, so please. And hope you are taking notes. You have your writing materials with you. Do you have your writing materials with you? Yeah. All right. So please, let's follow. And at the end of this presentation, we'll be hoping for questions, inshallah. Interaction, because the topic is such that it may require interaction. Yeah, let's
Bismillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulullah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man tabi'ahu bi ihsan ila yawmiddin. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Wa ba'd, assalamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at all times for giving us another golden opportunity to converge here, to share bunch of knowledge and experiences. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our efforts as a cause to paradise. The topic of discussion is selflessness and community development, a responsibility for all. This topic is well chosen and is in collaboration. It tallies and has a very strong nexus and connectivity with the theme of this year's Islamic vacation, that is the Muslim community. So how do we have a Muslim community? This topic is very essential in having an ideal Muslim community. Let's take definition of terms. Though this is an advanced class, I believe we are very much conversant with most of the terms. But for the sake of reminder, and also to have a definition that is in line with our theme, we'll take definitions from Oxford Dictionary. Oxford Dictionary defines selflessness as for one to be concerned more with the needs and wishes of others than oneself. For you to be concerned with the wish and needs of others than oneself. This is how Oxford Dictionary defined selflessness. Their community is defined as a group of people living in the same place or having particular characteristics. Once you live in the same place, a new stage in a changing situation. That is, whenever you have a goal, you are pursuing a goal. He asks the companions that who will entertain this guest of mine? Who will entertain this guest of mine for a good reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And a man volunteered. The man took the guest to his house. He asked his wife, we have a guest, let's entertain him. And she told him the only food we have in the house is for the children. The only food left in the house is the food for the children. And the man asked his wife to give it to the guest. You see, this is sacrifice he is making for his guest. And then, in order to divert the attention of the children and for them not to cry, he asked as if she is cooking something, so that the attention of the children will be carried away. And she was doing that for a long time until the children fell asleep. Then she went to the lamp and was pretending as if she was adjusting the lamp, and then she off the lamp. For the man not to notice that there is no any other food in the house, he pretended as if they were eating. For that man, the guests, not to know that they don't have food to eat. They make that sacrifice for their guests. How many of us can do this? We have a lot to learn from the companions of the Prophet ﷺ. And this is the essence of the revelation of a verse When the man approached the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told the man that for your action yesterday night, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala laughed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala smiled because of what you did to your guest yesterday night. For that reason, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala laughed. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed a verse in Surah Al-Hashr verse number 9, that is Surah 59 verse number 9, وَالَّذِينَ تَبَوَّأُوا الدَّارَ وَالْإِيمَانَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ يُحِبُّونَ مَنْ هَاجَرَ إِلَيْهِمْ وَلَا يَجِدُونَ فِي صُدُورِهِمْ حَاجَةً مِمَّا أُوتُوا وَيُؤْثِرُونَ عَلَى أَنفُسِهِمْ وَلَوْ كَانَ بِهِمْ خَصَاصَةٌ وَمَن يُوقَ شُحَّ نَفْسِهِ فَأُولَئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. And the 10th verse, وَالَّذِينَ جَاءُوا مِنْ بَعْدِهِمْ يقولون ربنا اغفر لنا ولإخواننا الذين سبقونا بالإيمان ولا تجعل في قلوبنا غلا للذين آمنوا ربنا إنك رؤوف رحيم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praised the Ansar that they hosted the immigrants, the people of Makkah. The people of Makkah who left their homes, they left their families, but they are well hosted by the Ansar. When the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam migrated to Medina, he established a strong bond of brotherhood between the immigrants and the Ansar. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, established that brotherhood. He connected. He asked each member of the Muhajirun and attached with a member of the Ansar, and they indeed hosted the Muhajirun very well, in the sense that they shared their wealth with them. In fact, some of them asked the Muhajirun to select from their wives. He will tell them, brother, I have 2 wives. Select any of them. I will divert my village there. You marry them. How many of us can do that today? All he asked for, he will say, see, pick any 2 of them. Anyone you choose. He does not say, okay, brother, please take this one. This one is for me, take this one. No. You will bring all of them and ask him, pick 2 among them. Take 2 out of the 4, and I will divorce them immediately so that you marry them. For them not to be in Medina without a wife. He has wealth, he will distribute his wealth. He will divide it equally and tell him, take half and I will take half. With the exception of few persons that didn't accept that offer, like Abdurrahman bin Auf. He said, no, this is not what I need. Show me the way to the market. Because he was a business tycoon, he showed him the way to the market. He went to the market. After some time, he did money. And he married for himself, acquired a house for himself, and other things of sustenance. So this is to show us the kind of sacrifice that the early Muslims made for each other. And that is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praised them. وَالسَّابِقُونَ الْأَوَّلُونَ مِنَ الْمُهَاجِرِينَ وَالْأَنصَارِ وَالَّذِينَ اتَّبَعُوهُم بِإِحْسَانٍ رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُمْ وَرَضُوا عَنْهُ وَأَعَدَّ لَهُمْ جَنَّاتٍ تَجْرِي تَحْتَهَا الْأَنْهَارُ خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُمْ وَرَضُوا عَنْهُ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned, I think in Surah At-Tawbah verse 90, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praised the early Muslims among the Al-Ansar and Al-Muhajirun. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said he is pleased with them, just as they are pleased with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as their Lord. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has set for them as a reward for their sacrifices, paradise. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us better understanding. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam we also learn from that verse. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَمَنْ يُوقَ شُحَّ نَفْسِهِ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. In the end of the verse we cited earlier. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has also warned us against stinginess, because stinginess is the taboo. It's the stumbling block that is preventing us from extending our generosity, our magnanimity to our fellow brothers and sisters. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Ittaqu shuh, fa innahu ahlaka man kana qablakum." Just as is reported in Sahih Bukhari and in 2578. We recall when the Prophet ﷺ received the first set of revelation, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed, Ya ayyuhal muddaththir qum fa'anzir wa rabbaka fakabbir wa thiyabaka faqahhir wa rujza fahjur wa la tamnun tastakbir. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala warned the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that do not give so that you will get more in return. Whenever you are giving, whenever you are assisting someone, you are extending generosity to anybody. Do not give expecting return. This is the attitude of so many people that pretend to be philanthropists. They don't give fisabilillah. They only give for the sake of having a return. Either they give because they are politicians, so that people will call them philanthropists, so that they will be voted again into the office, or they give to get praise, or expecting something either in kind or in cash as a return of what they did as charity. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has worked against this. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also praised the early Muslims, the companions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, especially the Al-Ansar. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praised them in Surah Al-Insan verse 8 to 9. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَيُطْعِمُونَ الطَّعَامَ عَلَى حُبِّهِ مِسْكِينًا وَيَتِيمًا وَأَسِيرًا إِنَّمَا نُطْعِمُكُمْ لِوَجْهِ اللَّهِ لَا نُرِيدُ مِنكُمْ جَزَاءً وَلَا شُكُورًا. Allahu Akbar. The sacrifices the Al-Ansar made for their brothers from Makkah, they did it out of sincerity. They did it without expecting a penny in return. They don't even need any form of appreciation from them. This is worthy of emulation. Whenever you are giving out, provided you have made up your mind that you are giving fisabilillah, you should not expect anything in return. The attitude of some people is, whenever, for example, you have a ceremony, you have a committee of friends, she is giving, or she has naming ceremony, especially our sisters, our beloved sisters, especially our beloved sisters. Yes. You know the own is doing naming ceremony. During marriage, they contribute nothing or a very anything. Yes, but during naming ceremony, she will contribute to our friend's naming ceremony, so that whenever she gives birth to a child, she will also contribute. And sometimes you hear them complaining. During her naming ceremony, I gave her less of 15,000. Then look at the rabbi, she's giving you of 3,500. Which shows you really do it for the sake of Allah. And for our brothers also, during his wedding ceremony, he contributed to our respected brothers. He contributed 20,000, for example, to the brother's wedding ceremony. When it is time for his own wedding, the brother didn't contribute anything. Some will start complaining. And maybe at that time he didn't have the use of contributing. If you complain, it means you didn't do it for the sake of Allah. Please, let's try to purify our intention. We also have a report in Hadith that during the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a man was gifted the head of a goat to serve as a meal for him. Out of love for his neighbors, he sent it to his neighbor. He felt, I shouldn't be enjoying while my neighbor is not enjoying this meal with me. He sacrificed it for his neighbor. He took it to his neighbor. The neighbor also had the same feelings with him. He sent it back to the next person. That was how it circulated within 5 neighbors and finally returned to the original owner that it was given to. This is to show us the bond of this strong brotherhood that they had during their time. Can we make such sacrifices now? Let's start preparing our mind and make adjustments. Community development. The United Nations define it as a process where community members come together to take collective, deliberate actions and solutions to common problems. People come together, they share their ideologies, they inject their energies in order to offer solutions to common problems. It is a grassroots process through which communities become more responsible by organizing and planning their development strategies together, developing healthy lifestyle options, empowering themselves, reducing their poverty rate and suffering, creating employment opportunities, and achieving social, cultural, environmental, and economic goals. It is a well-planned endeavor that is inclusive and equitable, holistic, integrated, and supported by community members for the sole aim of the community development. A group of people, as we defined earlier, either that live within a geographical location or that share the same ideology, they put their heads together to provide solution to their lingering problems, to their common problems, to their societal problems, such as poverty, unemployment, health challenges, and so on and so forth. And as we defined earlier, community development is a strategic and a continuous process. It is a sustainable process, a process that will take time to achieve maximum goal. Let's take community development in the light of Islam. If we flip through the pages of the glorious Quran, we will realize that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala usually addresses mankind most often as community. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sometimes will say, Ya ayyuhan nas, all you mankind. Mankind is a community, it's a group of people. It's not one person. If Allah wish, He will call a person as an individual, like Ya Adam, or Ya ayyuhan nabi, Ya Ibrahim, Ya Musa, and so on and so forth. But most of the times, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will address us as a community. Ya ayyuhan nas, Ya ayyuhan ladhina amanu, Ya ahlal kitab. You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also used ummah. Kana nas ummatan wahida. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also used like words like qarya. Kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat lin-nas. أو الذي مر على قرية وهي خاوية على عروشها. The story of Uzair in Surah Al-Baqarah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used such words, which means from the first origin, mankind has always existed as a community. With the ideology of community, we will achieve a lot. We will achieve a very great milestone if we have the mindset of working as a community rather than as a family unit or as an individual. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also enjoined mankind to collaborate, to work together as a community towards achieving righteousness. For example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in Surah Al-Ma'idah, وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى وَلَا تَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْإِثْمِ وَالْعُدْوَانِ. That is Surah Al-Ma'idah, the end of verse 2. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, and you should collaborate in righteousness, in achieving righteousness, and do not participate, do not collaborate in what? In evils and transgression. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks us to collaborate, to join us together, to work together as a community in order to solve our common problems. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also mentioned in Surah Al-Ra'd, verse number 11, you know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, part of the verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُوا مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said He will not change the state of a community unless they strive towards changing it themselves. If you have problem of insecurity, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not help you. You must help yourself. After making effort, then you pray over it. That is when prayer will work. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the Battle of Badr, you know how challenging it was for the Muslims. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam knew that if he prayed to Allah, Allah will answer his request. But despite that, they prepared, they made preparation. They put together all their resources to the best of their ability. Before finally the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when they reached the battlefield, then he invoked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala assisted them. After making what? Effort. My brother, you cannot sit at home, be doing tahajjud, pray, doing the fasting of Prophet Dawood without making any effort and expect that you have money. It's not possible. You have to make effort. All prayers must be accompanied by what? By effort. Or you will not be zidi ilman 1 million times. And you are thinking you have knowledge. You cannot have knowledge. You must strive towards getting knowledge. Prayer only works after what? After making effort. Let's have this at the back of our mind. So, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said we will not change our condition until we change it ourselves. If you have a common problem, your problem is there's high unemployment rate. Within your community, you have 100 graduates, no job. So you should sit down as a community and think of how to provide job for the younger generation. You will not say, let's start with al-Qunut. We have a problem of leadership in the country. You will not depend on al-Qunut alone. It's not possible. Allah has given you mediums of bringing change. If the only tool you have to bring change is through voting, then you have to bring vote in the right way. But we are induced by materialistic things. And that is why most times we compromise that. And at the end of the day, we start complaining. Or whenever the righteous people among us volunteer to serve us, we are the first set of people to criticize them. If a chef, you will see the poster of a chef, he is aspiring for the president of Nigeria. We will be the ones to condemn him. They had a bad leader, siyasa. What is the nexus between a chef and politics? We are ones. So, we have to strive towards solving our own problems. We'll dwell more on that, inshallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also mentioned a similar verse to this in Surah Al-Anfal verse 83. ذَلِكَ بِأَنَّ اللَّهَ لَمْ يَكُنْ مُغَيِّرًا نِعْمَةً عَلَى قَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُوا مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never change the condition of a people who have been living well, who have been living, enjoying the bounties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, except that they change it themselves. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will pay them with what their hands have aimed for them. وَمَا أَصَابَكُم مِّن مُّصِيبَةٍ فَبِمَا كَسَبَتْ أَيْدِيكُمْ وَيَعْفُو عَن كَثِيرٍ. If you are living well, we are living peacefully in the country. The cost of living was favoring to almost everyone, but a change came. We started suffering. We should know that it's because of what our hands have offered for us. It's because of what we did. It's because of what we did. So we have to change before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bring a change for us. We have to change our attitude. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us example of various communities in the Quran that were living in abundance of wealth. They were living peacefully, but when they transgressed the limits of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they crossed the boundaries of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inflicted them with tribulations. Ask yourself, in this current generation, what sort of atrocities and vices are we not committing? We combine all from the foremost generation down to the last generation. We combine everything. In fact, we even added, like lesbianism. We don't have any record in the Quran that shows that there was a community previously, a previous nation that indulged in lesbianism. We only have of homosexuality, the case, isn't it? But we don't have the people of Prophet Luke. But we don't have of lesbianism. This is an additional crime we have added to ourselves. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned about the people of Sabah. لقد كان لسبع في مسكنهم آية جنتان عن يمين وشمال كلوا من رزق ربكم واشكروا له بلدة طيبة ورب غفور. What happened next? فأعرضوا عنه فأرسلنا عليهم سيل العرم وبدلناهم جنتين ذواتي أكل خمط أثل وشيء من سدر قليل. What is it? ذلك جزيناهم بما كفروا وهل نجازي إلا الكفور. They were in abundance, surplus of wealth, enjoyment. Other nations depended on them. They didn't depend on importation. They were the ones exporting. They didn't depend on UN intervention to send LGBT before they get loans from UN, no, or from World Bank. They were the ones assisting other communities. But what happened when they turned away from the commandment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Then they found themselves in a state of cataclysm. They found themselves in a state of impecuniosity, severe hardship, severe poverty, and that is what we are witnessing today. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also mentioned in Surah Al-Nahl, وَضَرَبَ اللَّهُ مَثَلًا قَرْيَةً كانت آمنة مطمئنة يأتيها رزقها من كل مكان فكفرت بأنعم الله فأذاقها الله لباس الجوع والخوف بما كانوا يصنعون. Similar to the people of Sabah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about the people of Makkah. They were once a community that were under the bounties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They were subservient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They were practicing the religion of Islam taught by Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam. Then after a time, they turned away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They started worshiping idols, committing shirk. They turned away from Him. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inflicted them with several calamities. What are we not doing today? Shirk, Yahoo, what is it? Shirk is involved in most of the Yahoo nowadays that young guys are doing. They upgrade to Yahoo Plus, Yahoo Plus, Yahoo Plus, just to get money. And they usually say that die. There is one musician that is telling them that die. So it's better you just enjoy. For even if it is 2 years, you die under 30 than to live for 70 years in severe hardship and poverty. So many of our youth have been brainwashed. And our sisters too, they are the great customers of the Yahoo boys. You go to some hotels, you see our young boys, our girls. A brother told me he's a plumber. His service was needed in a hotel. When he entered the room, he's an Islamic teacher. When he entered the hotel room, they had challenge with their water system. Immediately he entered. It was a young guy and a lady. Immediately he entered, he just said salam and he entered. The next thing he heard is out of the lady. Then the lady covered her face. It means the lady knew him. And since he went inside, she didn't raise her head till he came outside. But he couldn't recognize the lady. She didn't want him to know she's the one. This is the level of decay. Love for material things. iPhone, rubber, whatever. So many common shawarma, pizza that you eat and defecate. For these common things, some girls will sell themselves. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to guide us. There are some instruments that we can, as individuals or as a community, use to assist or solve the problems we have within our communities. As a good Muslim, especially as a qualified and proud MSSN member, you are supposed to be a solution provider, a problem debugger as an MSSN member. Wherever you are, if there is a problem, you are supposed to offer solution. As you are living off right from now, start thinking, what is the problem of my community? How do we solve the problem of that community? It's not everything that your government will do. It's not everything that you expect the rich men to do for you. For example, in this camp, this morning we went around for sanitation. Isn't it? It's something very simple we can do within how many minutes? To pick piece of papers and letters within the IBC camp. If we don't do it, who are we expecting to do it for us? This is something very simple. We can do it ourselves. Should we fold our hands and start expecting the IBC organizer to employ cleaners to be cleaning our toilets, to go around the IBC camp to pick those pieces of papers? There are things we can do ourselves. You have problem of, unkept waters in your community, within your area, and those waters are harboring mosquitoes, and everyone is suffering from malaria. What do you do as an individual? You can strategize, bring people together, even if it is weekly. You will sanitize those waters. It's part of community development. But it's not everything that you need money. It's not everything. Or you expect the government to do it for you. There are things we can do ourselves, and there are things that it is only when we start doing it that the government or the rich people will intervene. We'll mention some of them. One, we have, as a Muslim community, we need to institutionalize zakah. There are a good number of Muslims that don't even know the Islamic rulings on zakah. They don't know. A few months ago, someone asked me, he presented some questions to me and said there is really a problem within the Muslim Ummah that we have to sensitize. He said currently there are Muslims that think they can outsmart Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What they do is they don't keep cash. They always convert their cash to what? To assets. And to their own understanding, since it is said that an asset will only be due for zakah after what? After 1 year. So before 1 year, they will sell it off and buy another one. Do you understand the wayo here? They will sell it off and buy another one. That other one, by the time it reaches like 6-7 months, it has not attained a year. They will sell it off and buy another one. So to them, they think they are doing wayo. They are fighting Allah that they will not give us zakah. While some people don't even know what they are supposed to give. Someone told me that they went to a very rich man after spending about 1 week calculating his result. At the end of the day, what he's supposed to give out as zakah is about 1.8 billion. 1.8 billion, that is what he's supposed to give out. When he had the amount, he said, "You mean the whole of this money I should give it out?" He said, "Yes." He said, "Okay, he just gave them 50 million and said, 'Madam, take this for your airport. Thank you very much.'" And that's the end of it. He feel that amount is too big to be given out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we need to institutionalize zakah and our various communities. I want to commend a particular community in Nigeria, the Lekki Muslim community in Lagos. Lekki Muslim community. You know Lekki in Lagos, they have a Muslim community. They are doing wonders. These people, apart from solving their immediate community problem, they are also extending assistance to people of other communities. I will not forget, I think last year, they shared an advert. We also shared it in our wireless platforms. They were given 600,000 naira as support to young entrepreneurs. 600,000 naira. Within your community, you have rich men. Within your community, you have people that can give at least 1 million naira to our team unemployed youth to start a business, or those that are already doing a business to promote their business. But what effort are they making? Or you as an individual, what effort have you made for solving your own problem? It starts with you before thinking outside the box. We also have charity, giving out charity. We also have work food. There are people that I know of a school that was built by a philanthropist in Kubwa here. If you know modern Islamic school, Kubwa, it was established by Alhaji Sheikh. He built that school and gave it out as work. He gave it the appointed, trusted people to run the school. He doesn't need a penny from the school. Whenever they realize the school, they should use it for da'wah. And they have an existing and vibrant Islamic da'wah group. They have vehicles, they go on da'wah. They also do similar to what we do, IDVC. IDVC is courtesy of funds they get from that school. So there are Muslims, many Muslims that can do this. So we should start having this mindset so that whenever we have the opportunity, we will do it our own selves, or we will extend the message to those that have the capacity of doing it. Pay of ransom is also another way, another instrument towards community development. Pay of ransom, especially in terms of killing. You know, nowadays people kill without paying ransom. And unfortunately, because of our pretending attitude of having tawakkul, we pretend someone will kill out of carelessness, recklessness. You know, we are not even talking about one by mistake. They will not bother to collect here. It has to be collected. They are 559 million plus. He has to pay. But most times it is not paid. And that is why people will just be in loggerheads. They will start fighting. Before you know it, the other person will pick up a knife and kill the other one. And the best thing he can do is to run away from that community for a few days. After some time, he will come back. And he will say, Haka Allah Adara. That is how Allah has destined. So we have to remove that kind of mindset. I also recall that I think it was last year, one of our erudite professor, Professor Isaac Akintola, the Director General of Burik, he recommended that as Muslim community, we need to have Ummah Bank, when you know it will serve as the Baitul Mal of the Muslim Ummah. We can have this either at our local communities or as a nation at large, so that the lingering problems we have as a community, we can use such avenues, we can use such funds to finance our project. We don't need to be, you know, especially during Ramadan, doing flyers in our WhatsApp group is irritating sometimes. It's irritating. You see, so many, you even be confused. Which one will you send your contribution to? You see someone from Lagos sending a flyer or seeking assistance to a group in Someone in Abuja send it to another group in Kano. That is not class. Does it mean Islam is a religion of begging? Can't we put ourselves together as a community and solve our immediate problems? We have a project in Abuja. Then sometimes we move to Lagos, we move to Togoto, we need the second Muslim to send this contribution. What are the rich men within our community doing? What are they doing? That project is not beyond our capacity. So that mindset of begging, either corporate begging or individual begging, we have to remove that mentality. We have to remove it. We have to erase it from us, so that we think of sustainable ways of solving our problems. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us more guidance. We also have to have befitting masajid that will serve as Islamic centers. Most of the times we underutilize the function of the masjid. So many people think the masjid is a place where we observe Salawat and that is all. No. The masjid is a multi-purpose center. Let's go back to history during the time of Prophet Sallallahu. Virtually all activities done, meetings and so on are carried out in what? In the masajid. Plans are made for the benefit of the woman in the masajid. Let's have multi-purpose masajid that will serve as Islamic center. And I think MSSN is doing well in that regard. The mosque we have in Guatemala, we also have a school here. And other things we have our business center here, we have plaza. Anything you need as Muslims, let's think of providing whatever we need. Whatever we need, if we need as Muslims, we need a supermarket. Let's join resources together. Let's have our own supermarket. So that we don't need to go outside. The funds generated, the profit generated, will be used to solve our own problems. If we have an urban supermarket and we have people that are in need, people that are in hunger, we can make an arrangement where they can go there, get food stuffs, and it will be recorded. People that are not interest loan, they can get it. We should let them provide our own solutions. We don't have a hotel, public hotel, owned by Muslims. I don't know if we have any. It's owned by private or individuals. Can't we have a social hotel? If you complain that most hotels they take alcohol, most hotels they commit atrocities, have an alternative. If you don't provide an alternative, if I travel to Lagos, I don't know anybody. Don't worry about it. Should I go under the bridge? I have to go to the hotel. So let's provide alternative. Alhamdulillah, we have many schools, many Islamic schools now. We should do more in that. How many universities do we have? So we should put on all this. These things, if we work as a community, we can achieve all this. We should have our own hospitals. How much do you pay whenever you go to hospital, especially private hospitals? Some are even owned by, international non-Muslim organizations. Anytime you patronize them, you are contributing to promoting their religion. Anytime you spend it, you are promoting them. Why not let's have our own? As a community, let's have an affordable Muslim hospital where women will attend to women, men will attend to men. Why not let's have that? These are things we should start thinking of. We can start as little, even if it is with a chemist. Let's have a chemist that will not be selling intoxicants, that will not be selling hard drugs, that will sell drugs at an affordable rate. Then most of the times, even if we start this, we are the ones that will frustrate the effort. The chairman of the board of trustees will go there and collect drugs of 10,000. If they ask it to be, you don't know how to chairman. If the secretary hear that he will go and collect 7,000, other members will collect 3,000. Before you know, they have run down that shop or that pharmacy. This is our attitude. The same thing sometimes if you have a community school. Those that will kill this are the owners or those that are assigned to serve, to protect, and ensure the continuity of that school. So we have to penalize them. I'm not in support of a situation where maybe an imam of a masjid will go to the treasury. He will loot the treasury of the money, and clear evidences are on board that he has looted the treasury of the money or of the box, and they will be beaten around the bush. They will just sweep the case under the carpet. I'm not in support of that, and that is not what is ideal. If that is reoccurring, in fact, in some places, he is known to everyone who sits with that attitude, and he said the imam. It is only a Muslim community that will accommodate this. What are you telling to the next imam? He will do worse than that. If you have generator in my city, or the warden of the box. Yes, you have cases. There are several cases. Or you have a community school. The head teacher will loot the treasury of the school. And that person will still be maintained in that school. For what reason? They need to be penalized. If they are not penalized, that is what is bringing about the occurrence of that incident and as it says back to us. Before you know, people will be frustrated. We also have to think on how to provide accommodation to the needy travelers, to the widows, to the orphans, genuine widows and genuine orphans. That is those that don't have any alternative. We have to accommodate them. Otherwise, other people will accommodate them and will listen to them. And this is what is happening. Just as we are losing so many children to this emergency system of learning, we are losing so many children. We have had live reports where children have been taken to other parts of the country. They have been renamed. Their religion and identity has been changed. So we are producing children for other people. And we'll be claiming we have the numbers. We are producing children. Other people are taking the children away from you. We have to provide a lasting solution to that problem. It's a great problem. And as I used to say, and I stand to be corrected, that the system is no more effective as it used to be. Because it's now obvious that most of the children that are sent to learn in such system are only sent to push away responsibility. The parents are pushing them away to dodge of responsibility. Not because they genuinely want them to learn. And if you make comparison with those that attended the normal Islamic learning system and those that attended the Al-Majid system, their level of learning achievement cannot never be compared. In fact, some of them in the other system, they abandon the learning at a stage, at a point. Once they get the hang of, they abandon the learning. The Mala will never see them again. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to grant us better understanding. We also need to have our own restaurants as a community. Wallahi, some things you are eating are not free from haram. Some things you are not. I think I once arranged an article published by Farouk Beirodi, Professor Farouk Beirodi. He said I think in UK, there was a prominent personality, I think he's a judge if I'm not forgotten, that attended a gathering. Then in that meal, he served them, there was food in it. But he didn't know, he was about to eat. Then he whispered to him, forgotten how it was in Yoruba. He mentioned pig to him. You understand? He mentioned pig to him. Because he is not too conversant with Yoruba, he's from Kwara. But at least he had some words, some vocabulary from Yoruba. Then he mentioned pig to him. Then the Prophet just stopped. He was shocked. You really this food that he didn't eat again. So how many of our Muslims? Many of our Muslims are eating pig ignorantly. Many of our Muslims are eating content of being ignorant. We need to have our own restaurants that is free of alcohol. Some meat you are eating in the market, I'm not telling you not to eat meat from the market, but you don't know the source. Sometimes the cow will die because they don't want to lose. Maybe the cow wants 1.2 million. If it dies just like that, they have lost, isn't it? They will just cut it like that. They will cut it, water the meat, and you buy from the market. But I'm assuring you that if you have a halal restaurant owned by the community, all these excesses will be checked. You have the certainty that whatever you are eating is from halal. Also, water facilities. There are communities where you have plenty Muslims. If you will contribute 100 naira, just 100 naira, on monthly basis, just 100 naira, in 3 months' time, they will be able to build a befitting water system that will be free from light. It doesn't need light. You don't need Usmanda. It will operate on its own. It will use solar. What do you need more than this? If you wish, you might charge a token for maintenance, or you even make it free. We can do this. But most times, we will wait for the government. Will the government do everything for you? They cannot do everything. They will remember the time of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam when he went to Medina. The Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, according to the scholars of history, they said in Medina he built more than 50 wells. That's community development. More than 50 wells. We also remember the scenario of Sayyidina Muhammad. When there was a simple well in Medina then that was hard water, only that well had water. Owned by who? Owned by a Jew. And the Jew was selling the water at a very high amount. The Prophet ﷺ called all the companions and asked them. He told them, I want someone that can buy this well from this Jew. Said that woman volunteered. He went to him and they started bargaining. The Jew said, I'm not selling. It's like you have a company that you are earning huge amount. And someone just came to you and asked you to sell it. Will you sell it? And perhaps that is the only source of earning you have. And the company is doing well. That is what Satan was handing to the Jew. He asked him to sell it. He said he will not sell it. He started, giving him amount. What about if I pay you so amount? What about if I pay you so amount? When the Jew had of a very high amount, when he had of a very high amount, he told him, okay, what you do is I will sell half of the well for you. He said what? He will sell half of the well for Satan. Just imagine, how will someone sell half of the well? He said, I don't understand. You mean you sell half of this well for me? How? He said, yes. He said, what you do is, you own the well today, I will own the well tomorrow. You own the well next tomorrow, I will own the well a day after. He said, I'm okay with that. A Muslim is someone very smart. He said, I'm okay with that. When it was the turn of Sayyidina Uthman, after making the payment, when it is his turn, he will stand by the well and make announcement. Everyone come and fetch water free of charge. You better fetch today and reserve for tomorrow. Tomorrow is not my turn. If you don't fetch enough water today, tomorrow you have to buy. Everyone will show up. They will fetch, store water. The next day, no patronage. So as time goes on, the man realizes there is no patronage. He goes saying now and tell him, see, just pay me what you paid the other time. Let me just leave the one for you. Said Osman said, no, that man is too big now. Then he just paid a little token and he had full ownership of the well. This is community development. Providing solution to the immediate community. So let's start thinking outside the box. How do we provide solution to our immediate community? As we are living these premises, let's start strategizing. Look for like-minded people that have the same mentality with you. You are from so-so village. You are from so-so community. What is the problem of your community? and a proper solution to it. Part of the mechanisms for community development is volunteerism. Volunteerism. Taking up a task, not expecting anything in return. You are doing it as Muslims, you are doing it in sabilillah. As you are coming to this camp, for those that have been injecting their efforts, their skills, their knowledge to the success of this IBC, no one is paying them. You are doing it for the sake of Allah, without expecting anything in return, without expecting praise from people, without doing it for the sake of popularity or for the sake of getting compliment from people. No, you are doing it for the sake of Allah. So, volunteerism, as a Muslim, you should have this as a basic guide whenever you are doing the job of a volunteer. Volunteer, but not specifically be under the auspices of an Islamic organization. Any organization, provided they have good goals and they have something that benefit the community, you can join them, volunteer to serve the Ummah, to serve humanity. As a volunteer, you are not expected to be discriminated. You know, you are assigned to be sharing food during the IBC. You will not be looking at faces. Then you are from Bangladesh. I will be identifying faces from Bangladesh. I will serve them first before any other area comes to grow. There is favoritism. Don't discriminate. Or because I'm from social tribe, you are asked to identify people that are in the windows. You will not select people, all of us. You select people from your tribe, you know. And you know there's a good benefit you get. You will select people from your tribe, you know, who abandon others. No. As a good volunteer, you are supposed to you should be equitable in your actions and inactions. You should not boast of your efforts. You came to the IBC, you have been running helter-skelter, you have contributed a lot for the IBC, success of the IBC or your community. You should not brag. And in point in time, you started there. Am I not one that put water in this community? Am I not one that tied this hose? What do you want to tell me? You start bragging, no. Don't do that. Anything you do it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then we should also avoid suspicion. If you are a volunteer, you are doing it for the sake of Allah. Don't assume that your superior officers are getting paid, funds for the efforts you are making, and they are not sharing it with you. You know, some of us can be very suspicious. For example, you are doing a volunteer job, and you will be thinking that your superior officers are getting a support from somebody, which they are not giving to you. No. Or because you bought a car, you will think it's from, because it's the idea of the area council. It's the administration that gave him money to buy that car. But you might have other sources of earning. Don't be suspicious. You are in our chairman, you use your resources to go for our outreach and so on and so forth. Whatever resources you inject, just be sincere and don't depend or accuse any other person. Thinking they have got their support from somewhere they are not sharing with you. And then, at one point in time, whenever you are given a role which you know you are not capable of, you are given a role which you know you don't have the qualities or the capacity to handle that role, please don't accept it. Don't accept it. For example, you are asked to serve as the Amir, and you know that you have so many deficiencies, you don't have the qualities. It's unfortunate that some will even be lobbying for the position. It's unfortunate. Some will even be lobbying. Some will pay money. I know of a man in the community, when he retired, And that coincidentally, the imam of the community died. So at that time, it was the time he retired, he got his gratuity. He sent a huge amount of money to those that are in charge of appointing the next imam, so that they will facilitate his being the next imam. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. So, if you are given a responsibility which you know you don't have the capacity, kindly recommend someone that you know is in best position to do that job, so that there will not be lacuna. Also, we should also know that whatever effort you are making, you are doing it. You are serving mankind to earn the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in the hadith, the Riyadh al-Salihin, hadith 1899, that khayrun nas man yanfa'u nas. Khayrun nas man yanfa'u nas. The best among you is he who is more beneficial to mankind. What are you doing to benefit others? Or are you the type that your mindset is only stationed within the axis of you are only entitled to something? You will not think others should benefit from you. You should have the mindset of benefiting others. What can you do to benefit others? Either within your family or within your community. It should start from your family. Some are so selfish. That is why we started with selfishness. Some people are so selfish. Even at home, they will never benefit somebody with anything. But at all times, they are in need of something from somebody. I used to tell this to my students in Islamia, that as children, what are you doing to make your parents happy? What are you doing? I asked some that, why do you think your parents are sending you to school? He said it's because it's their right. That it's their right for their parents to send them to school. Then I asked him, if they don't send you to school, what do you think will happen? He kept quiet. After some time, he said nothing. What can you do if your parents refuse to send you to school? He said nothing. What can you do if your parents send you out of their house? Nothing. What can you do if they don't give you food? Nothing. So you should know that it's a privilege. It's not the right. They send you to good schools, private schools, standard schools, international, reputable schools. If they wish, they will send you to a village school, and there's nothing you can do about it. The worst you can do is to say, I will not go to school. That is the whole cup of tea. So they are doing it because they are happy. They are doing it to motivate you. They are not gaining anything. If you graduate today, you feel what they have for you. Not because it's your right. No. It's a privilege. You need to appreciate that. So, khayrun nas man yanfa'u nas. The best among you is he who is beneficial to others. Of what benefit are you to other people? Start thinking of how you benefit other people. Start within your group. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Ar-Rahimuna yarhamuhum ar-Rahman. Yarhamukum man fil ardi, yarhamukum man fis sama." The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Those who show mercy to others, Allah will show mercy to them. Have mercy on those that are on the earth, so that He who is in the heaven will have mercy on you." The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam commended a woman, a harlot, a prostitute, for showing kindness, for showing mercy to a dog. So what do you think will be the reward of showing mercy, extending assistance to a fellow human being? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam during his time, the poor people among his companions came to him. He said, "Ya Rasulullah, sallallahu alaihi wasallam." He said, "Zahaba alu before the Jew." He said, "The rich men have won all the reward before like Sayyidina Abu Bakr, Sayyidina Umar, Uthman, Abdurrahman bin Auf, Sa'ad bin Waqqas, and their legs. They have won all the reward. They pray as we pray, they fast as we fast. But what they do without do is they give out from their wealth, which we don't have." Then the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam started mentioning to them ways of accumulating the Torah of God. He says, "Inna likulli tasbihatin sadaqah." He mentioned adhkar for them to be doing to their sadaqah. He also mentioned things that they will do with their physical effort. وَتُعِينُ الرَّجُلُ فِي دَابَّةٍ, to help someone to uplift something to his right or to bring it down. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Sadaqah." In fact, to have a smiling face to your fellow Muslim brother is sadaqah. وَتُمِيقُ الْعَبَ عَلِ الْقَرِيبِ sadaqah. He said to remove a harmful object from the path. Do you need a government to do that for you? If you have a pothole on the road, you as an individual can pick up gravels. You will fill in that hole. Cover it very well so that animals and human beings can move in. Say now during this time, an animal, stumbled on the road because the state of the road was bad, and he was terrified. He was terrified. He was worrisome. He was afraid that Allah would ask him for that. So let's do things that will benefit others. Let's not be selfish. Let's feel that selfish mentality. And the Prophet ﷺ said, "Kullu ma'rufin sadaqah." Whatever act of goodness you do, provided that thing is good, it's regarded as what? Sadaqah. And the companions, the four companions, they came up to the Prophet ﷺ. They said, "Ya Rasulallah, all those things you ask us to do of tasbih, removing harmful object from the road, assisting each other, the rich men are also doing it too. That's why they are giving sadaqah, they are giving their wealth. These things you ask us to do, they also have it, they are also doing it." Then he says, "Ra'ika fadlullahi yu'tihi man yasha." Please don't be too envy. Don't be envy of people. There are people that for life, if they are fasting, there's nothing you can do about it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has already programmed how all of us will live in this world. It's good to strive. If you see that what is very rich, you can strive towards becoming like him, to be as rich as he is. Allah can make it easy for you. There are so many rich men, 10 years back, 20 years back, who are nobody. But today, they are counted among the richest people. It's good to strive. But there are people that if you didn't meet up with their position, there is nothing you can do about it. ذَلِكَ فَضْلُ اللَّهِ يُؤْتِيهِ مَن يَشَاءُ. My sister, if you are that in complexion, no matter the beauty you do, you will not be as that beautiful as that sister you are envying. Rather, you cause more problem to yourself. If you let go and buy the most expensive creams, most expensive makeup, there is nothing you can do about it. She is beautiful, more beautiful than you. There is nothing you can do about it. ذَلِكَ فَضْلُ اللَّهِ يُؤْتِيهِ مَن يَشَاءُ. Islam also another mechanism of championing community development is sustainable community development is empowerment and self-reliance. Some of us have brothers and sisters. In terms of knowledge, they need our assistance. In terms of money, they need our assistance. But so many Muslim families, you see someone is extremely rich, and in that same family, you see someone extremely poor. What are you doing? Why can't you empower that person? You have a position that you can facilitate the employment of several people, but you are not doing it. It is after your retirement you start regretting. Or you have been given employment slots, you send it up 1.5 million, 1.2 million, you are happy. You want a brand new car. That is an opportunity you have to assist people. That money you are accumulating will finish one day. If the money didn't finish before you, you will die. You will finish before the money. And those that will inherit the money, if you come back to life, let's say for accidentally maybe there's a fake news about your death. Or you are nowhere to be found. After some days you came back. Maybe they assume you have died. Maybe you are a people that had accident, God forbid. And you are able to escape from that accident. You went to somewhere you don't even know. After some days you returned back. They are so you have done, isn't it? You know, there are already people waiting now. They will not wait for you. You have shared the inheritance. Unless you come back. Maybe the last one or your last one or your son, you will tell him, Job, please, out of what you inherit, I'm not sitting me on. Please give me some portion, let me give myself. Okay, you just laugh at you. I'm telling you, that's what those children will do. They will laugh at you. It's when you are alive, you think that even they can stand in there for you. But most of them are not like that. Because you have put them with the mindset of you serving them. You have never taught them to serve you. You have always been serving them. You have always been serving them. So, the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us better understanding. And self-reliance. Please, the attitude of dependence, you have to keep that spirit, especially as an MSSN member. You have to keep that spirit of reliance, begging. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has prohibited begging. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the best food you eat is that which you earn from what? From your own handwork. The best food you eat is that which you earn from your own handwork. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has also said that it is better for a person to go to the bush, cut wood, place it on his head or his shoulders, sell him up, and get a means of sustenance than to be begging or to be begging from people. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is teaching us self-reliance. Let's take a look at the biography of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. How old was the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he was self-reliant? How old was he? How old was the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he was self-reliant? How old? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam at the age of 90, he was already rearing animals for the people of Makkah, and they were baby. At the age of 90, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and when he was almost, some scholars say 9, some scholars say 13. When he was almost, within that same age, his uncle Abu Talib took him to Sham to teach him how to pray. And I think Igbo child doesn't need to be taught how to pray, because it's school before. Right from nursery school. The next thing he knows after school, all the 3 places he knows in his life is where? School, shop, and where? And church. Or mosque, since you have Muslim Igbo brothers and sisters. This is the ideal mindset of an Igbo man. It has already been part and parcel of it. But sometimes, some of us who want businesses, we don't even want to teach our children. The richest men in the world, go and see how they mentor their children. So let's have that mindset of self-reliance. It is mentioned here 2 days ago that I think it was yesterday during the parents' discussion that most brothers now don't want to marry. What do they call it? Liabilities. And that is true. Look, the economy is so high. The cost of living is so high. They don't want to marry what? Liabilities. My brothers, you need to empower your wife. Even not for anything. For the sake of your children. Wallahi, nowadays, if a person dies, the children, they will be pushing them from this person to the other. They will take to the elder brother. You say, no, again, am I the one that said you should want 20 children? I was warning him there now. When I told him not to marry, he was eager as soon as. See the sooner now. As if he's the one that killed himself. They will take it to the other brother. He will have his own side of the story. No, you don't need to have safe battle with myself. And then they will be looking for where to keep these children. Some women you see, some widows you see with children. It's not that they don't wish to keep them in another place. Then they have rejected them. Or they kept them with someone that they are maltreating them. Will they, under their eyes, will they be watching how their children are maltreated? You have to take up the responsibility. So, my brothers, empower your wives. Empower your wives. It's very necessary. If it is not necessary before, it's very necessary now. Empower your wife. Most husbands don't want to marry what? Their ability. Look, even if you die, if your wife is empowered, she's a hot cake in the market. People will be rushing, submitting CV to marry her. Because she's not a burden to them. She saved the land, so they have lesser tasks. Then the woman that is fully dependent 100%, she there like she has 6 children. And she's marrying another man with their 6 children. If not someone with a class, I'm not saying someone that doesn't have a class. There's someone with a very strong iman and also buoyant. Well, I nobody will. If once he just hears 6 children, then he will close the chapter. Maybe if they are making call before or chatting, you will block the line and close the chapter. You understand? So please think of how to be self-reliant as Muslims. Let's be self-reliant. And we have mentioned the idea of the Prophet that says, you have a skill. Why can't you share that skill with others? Within your community, you know how to do video editing. Get young 10 or 5 young men within your community. Train them. Whether it will not stop your own source of earning. If you are a good writer, teach them how to write. You are a plumber, teach them plumbing. You are a tailor, teach them. You are an electrician, teach them. If you look at Brother Salahuddin. Brother Salahuddin, the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to bless him. He has taught so many brothers his job. He has mentored so many. And today some of them are relying on that. It's a source of earning for them. You too, you can do that. And it won't take anything from you. Rather, it will add all what for you. You know that teaching someone a skill or a trade is part of that the Prophet said, whenever the son of Adam died, a beneficial knowledge is not limited to reading the Quran alone. If you teach someone a trade, he taught another person. Whether he will continue getting reward till the end of this world. Imagine one day you have parents. If there is youth within the officials, this IBC will never succeed. Why? They would have asked everyone why you have the land and unity in your home. If your home is in disarray, you will not achieve anything. Just check at the most successful families. I'm not saying a person from a family, an individual, no. A family where you realize that almost everyone in that family is successful. Just make your background checks. You will realize that that family is very peaceful and united. You will achieve only a little without peace and unity. But with peace and unity in your community, you will achieve a lot. The Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to assist us and that grant us better understanding. This effort from us as an act of ibadah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, we pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward our brother, Sheikh abundantly and listening. We hope that life helps. Because of time, if you have any, please put it down. What I want us to understand is the whole lecture centered about self-reliance, which what you complete. And there is a reason for you as a Muslim to be self-reliant. You know why? Because the life you turn is a personal journey. So you need to make sure your transportation fare is fully ready to avoid begging on the streets. Not a process, but a project. And also said the people are the ends of development, as it is the case. They are also necessarily its agent and its means. It's something that it is you yourself that can do for yourself. Looking at the situation we are now, Anything in life that you cannot do it for yourself, my brother, my sister, forget it. Nobody will do it for you. One Nigerian musician by name Habib, he said, who helped you? Name your helper. Who promised you to change man? Isn't it? So don't wait until when government do something before you can make a move. We have abundant potentiality in us. So let's execute that. Let's make that achievable. The brother cited an example of a Muslim where we don't know the full meaning and the use of mosques we're having. We make our mosques be only for 5 days prayer, and secondly is for Babiala. Majority of our mosques, about 90% of our mosques, immediately after prayer, immediately after the prayer, the azan is stood up. Please, why? If you know you are rich and you want to build the box, you should create a means of sustaining the box. I know of a philanthropist that he himself cannot recall how many boxes he built. But at each box he built, he will either build Islamia attached to the box, or he will build shops attached to the box. And the money getting from that Islamia or box, all the shops, will be used to sustain the box. But our own, that's the case. In some cases, as the brother cited, it is even the imam that will be embezzling the money of the mosque. Wallahi, this will never happen in church. We have cases coming to us. The state, every says the lawyer, he can testify. Where congregation of the church will file a case against the pastor for eating the money of the church. It's management of fund. Who boy will take your imam to go to court? It is you that the community will start insulting. I'm on the mission. You can't make no go to. Once they say you are imam, then you become a saint. Even if you embezzle or you mismanage the fund of the mosque, nobody can ask you. But the church, small child will question you how you use the money. Because you know why? Every Sunday, as you are coming into the mosque, you make sure that your tithe is in your pocket. When it is offering time, everybody will come line by line with property. Line by line with property. That's why you see, they will start by constructing a bacha. Within a few months, they will do 2 courses. They will put like 3 courses of block. They will start building the complete new bacha. Before the year runs out, they will build the church. Before another year, they will follow the church on everything they do. You will think it's a magic. It's not a magic. Because they are determined. They that they are working in darkness, they are determined. But you, that you have the certainty that whatever you do in the cause of Islam, it will never go in vain. But you see a box that will take more than 30 years that is not yet completed. There is a mosque in my community. As at the time they started constructing that mosque, some of our sisters were not married. But now they are married. They get birth to a child, to a female child, and that child is not ready. If they can take her to our husband and from school. And yet, that mosque has not gone anywhere. And we call ourselves Muslim. And in that community, one simple person can build that mosque complex. But yet, we are not doing it. May Allah SWT forgive us. Before the next presenter come in, can we please all rise? Always number one. Excluding the area to handle. Everybody, excluding the area youth, except the very wished. Let's stretch our hands. Don't blow your neighbor. Again, let's be serious, please. Don't make noise. Okay, let's sit down. Sit down. Stand up. Stand up. The brothers are not competing. Alright, sit down. Stand up. Okay, on the final of this. Sit down now. Sit down. Alright, stand up. Alhamdulillah, I mean, Abdurrahman is come into my session. Why is the session? First person to sit down. Sit. Stand. 500 for anybody that knows that. It is. They're not complete. Okay.